Are you curious about the amazing world of biology? From the smallest cells to the largest ecosystems, biology helps us understand the fascinating ways in which living things function, evolve, and interact with their environment. In this video, we'll explore the science of life on Earth and discover why biology is so important for all of us. So come along and join the adventure of biology. But first, we must ask, why is it important to understand biology? Well, for one thing, biology plays a crucial role in many aspects of our lives. From the medicine we take to the food we eat, from the air we breathe to the water we drink, biology is all around us. By understanding biology, we can make informed decisions about how to take care of ourselves and our planet. Biology is also a vast and fascinating field, with many different branches and subdisciplines. Keep watching as we dive into the exciting world of biology and explore some of the key concepts and ideas that help us understand the science of life on Earth. Starting with the cell. The cell is the basic unit of life, and it is the starting point for our understanding of biology. Cells come in a variety of shapes and sizes, but they all have some key features in common. All cells have a cell membrane, which separates the inside of the cell from the outside environment. The cell membrane is made up of lipids, which are molecules that form a flexible, semi-permeable barrier around the cell. Inside the cell, there are a variety of specialized structures called organelles. Each organelle has a specific function that helps the cell carry out its various activities. For example, the mitochondria are responsible for producing energy for the cell, while the ribosomes are responsible for synthesizing proteins. The endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi apparatus are involved in the synthesis and transport of molecules within the cell. There are two main types of cells, prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are smaller and simpler than eukaryotic cells, and they do not have a defined nucleus. Eukaryotic cells, on the other hand, are larger and more complex, and they have a defined nucleus that contains the cell's DNA. Most of the cells in our bodies are eukaryotic cells, as well as in larger organisms, such as animals and plants, but prokaryotic cells can be found in a variety of environments, including the soil, the oceans, and even inside our bodies as our microbiome. Another key difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells is the way in which they reproduce. Prokaryotic cells reproduce through a process called binary fission, in which the cell divides into two daughter cells. Eukaryotic cells reproduce through a process called mitosis, in which the cell's nucleus divides and the cytoplasm is partitioned into two daughter cells. Eukaryotic cells can also form larger multicellular structures called tissues. Tissues can form organs, and organs can form organisms, which is why the cell is often referred to as the basic building blocks of life. But how does the information on how these cells should act get inherited? That would be by their DNA, discussed in the topic of genetics. Genetics is the study of how traits are passed down from one generation to the next. At the heart of genetics is DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA is a long, spiral-shaped molecule that contains the instructions for building and running cells and organisms. DNA is found in almost every cell in the body, and it is organized into units called genes. Each gene contains the instructions for making a specific protein, which in turn performs a specific function in the body. Genetics plays a crucial role in determining an organism's characteristics, such as its physical appearance, its susceptibility to certain diseases, and its behavior. Sometimes things can go wrong with genetic instructions. When this happens, genetic disorders can occur. Genetic disorders are conditions that are caused by changes in genetic instructions. Some common genetic disorders include Down syndrome, sickle cell anemia, and cystic fibrosis. In recent years, advances in genetics have led to the development of genetic engineering, which is the practice of manipulating DNA in order to modify or create new organisms. Genetic engineering has the potential to revolutionize many areas, including medicine, agriculture, and environmental conservation. However, it also raises ethical and social concerns that need to be carefully considered. Genetics is a fascinating and rapidly evolving field that is helping us to understand the complex and mysterious ways in which traits are passed down from one generation to the next. Although this passing of information doesn't always go as planned, and it can lead to new cells or organisms being produced seemingly by accident. This process is called evolution. It is one of the most important concepts in biology, and it helps us to understand how the incredible diversity of life on Earth has come to be. The theory of evolution by natural selection is the cornerstone of our understanding of evolution. It was first proposed by Charles Darwin in the 19th century, and it states that evolution occurs through the process of natural selection. According to this theory, living things that are better adapted to their environment are more likely to survive and reproduce, while those that are less well adapted are less likely to survive and reproduce. Over time, this process of selection leads to the evolution of new species. There's a vast amount of evidence for evolution, including the fossil record, the similarities between different organisms, and the way in which living things adapt to their environment. For example, the fossil record shows that over time, organisms have changed and evolved in response to changing conditions. And we can see the power of natural selection at work in the way that insects and other animals evolve resistance to pesticides and other chemicals. But to understand how living things interact and respond to their surroundings, we will have to turn to the study of ecology. It is a broad and fascinating field that encompasses a wide range of topics, from the behavior of individual organisms to the functioning of entire ecosystems. An ecosystem is a community of living things and their environment. It includes all the living and non-living components that interact with each other in a given area. Ecosystems can be large or small, and they can be found in a variety of environments, including forests, grasslands, oceans, and even cities. Ecological concepts are central to our understanding of the living world. For example, the concept of food chains and food webs helps us to understand how energy and nutrients flow through an ecosystem. The concept of population dynamics helps us to understand how populations of different species change over time. And the concept of biodiversity is important for understanding the role of different species in an ecosystem and the importance of conserving and protecting them. We've explored some of the key concepts and ideas that help us to understand the science of life on Earth. From the cell, the basic unit of life, to genetics, the study of how traits are passed down, to evolution, the process by which living things change and adapt, to ecology, the study of how living things interact with their environment, we've covered a lot of ground. Biology is a vast and fascinating field that touches on many aspects of our lives. By understanding biology, we can make informed decisions about how to take care of ourselves and our planet. And with new advances and discoveries happening all the time, there is always more to learn and explore. So we encourage you to continue your journey of understanding biology. Whether you are a student, a researcher, or simply someone who is curious about the world around you, there is always more to discover and learn about the amazing world of biology. So keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep learning by watching this next video on your screen.